Well, we've arrived at Ephesus on the Sunday. Another verse. So this is our first view of Ephesus. So these are Roman bathhouses at the entrance to the city. This is a Christian symbol meaning fish. Wonderful area here. Ephesus was the Roman capital for their Western Empire. It's pretty impressive. And this is what it would have looked like one time. It had a roof on. It must have been really impressive in its day. And there is this proletarian. You can see that this was an area of power because the capitals on all these are of bull heads.
Oh well.
That one there is particularly good. We're standing on top of this bullarium. The paving is all marble, wonderful. Most of the columns are made of marble. There are some big marble quarries in the area, apparently. And again, you can see wherever there's little stones, people make little cairns. This is a bit unique in that it's got a little arch. And there's another one there, a little arch. Without cement. It would be quite clever how they did that. It would take more than one person to make that. Similarly this one here.
Will you sit down?
No, I'm trying to find something in my bag.
It would take more than one person to make that. So this is a view down on the main part of Ephesus, the bit that is on all the postcards. And we'll gradually make our way down there now, down this little avenue of columns. The plain in the distance beyond Ephesus was in fact the sea at one time, which is why Ephesus is here, because it had a big harbour. But it's all silted up by the river, and the harbour disappeared. Eventually the area was invaded by the Arabs, and the place was abandoned. Make our way down this processional route to the bottom. these columns. This is Nike, the goddess of victory. There are a sizable number of important stones taken from here and are in the British Museum.
Das sind aber wir sind auch nicht gemacht. Deswegen kann es sein, wir möchten das wieder so gut machen. Wir haben das Konsul hat gesagt, okay, und so wurde Ephesus gesagt. Deswegen wir sagen Richtung von Ephesus und dann hat man links einen Brunnen dazu gebaut.
Look at this. They believe existed.
That's all that remains of it, just a terrace. Nothing else is left. This is the main avenue down into that square at the bottom. Lined by wonderful columns. Really, really nice. In this very, very warm sunshine in the middle of October. Lovely. This is one of the main streets of Ephesus. This guy here was a doctor. There's a little inscription on the front of the column tells us that. And so down here you had a roof across from the wall on the left to these columns on the right. And there were little shops all the way down here. Now it's just a jumble of pieces of antiquity. Walk down here, you have to be quite careful because these marble slabs covered with sand and bits of gravel can be quite slippy. Some of them have got grooves cut into them. But for the most part they're smooth. I would think when it's in the wet they're absolutely lethal. Anyway, we're approaching the main sort of square of Ephesus, a very famous bit. This is the fountain of Trojan. There was a statue of the emperor in the middle at one time, and the water ran down this gutter in the side here, out onto the road. Used it for keeping the road clean. This is a reconstruction of the fountain. And gives you a little bit of information about it there. And there you can see Ephesus and the looking down the avenue on this wonderful day. So on the left of this avenue was the residential area for the rich people, rich and famous. They had wonderful mosaics on the floor and beautiful marble doors. And you can see the mosaics here on the left hand side. This was the street. It was actually an arcade. It had a roof on the top of it, supported by these pillars. And you can see the mosaic here. Only the rich and famous had these outside their houses to walk on. And this gives you some idea of what it looked like.
Alors là-bas, regardez les termes. Les termes hier, je vous ai expliqué un petit peu.
The entrance was where these spiral fluted columns are. That was the way into the arcade. This is the Temple of Hadrian. What it would have looked like originally. It's a little bit about the history of it. This is what it looks like with, I think, Italian accompaniment.
On doit plus enlever le bras, mais on voit le samedi. C'est la légende de la
So these are the toilets. It's obviously a reconstruction.
Toilets.
Just for men. There's some original, but some are reconstructed. And in this trough in front was clean water.
Ja, klar.
It was like a little brush for wiping their bits. What the women did, I haven't a clue. It's a wonderful view of Ephesus.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to make my final speech over there where you can pay, and I want to explain the last two.
So this is what remains of Hadrian's Gate. Again, it's a reconstruction. Not a complete reconstruction. The top's missing. So this is the library at Ephesus. And this gateway here leads through into the market. And the inscriptions on the top, which are in Latin, I suspect. Not being a Latin scholar, I don't know what they say. This is what it would have looked like inside. But only the facade remains. This is what the back of the facade looks like. These were the building techniques used here. They must have lasted hundreds of years because the big cathedrals were built very much on the same principle. And even latterly, lead poured round metal or iron pegs was used in the 19th and 20th centuries to hold stones together or to hold fence posts into big blocks of stone. See the avenue coming down from the top. You have the shops from here on the left-hand side and the fancy mini palaces on the right-hand side with the mosaics. This big building poking over the horizon was reputedly a brothel. And this is from the steps of the reconstructed library facade. There's a large gate through into the market. Lots of inscriptions on it and some nice carving.
order books, volumes, to have in air circulation data from space between walls and shelves purposely.
That looks like Greek in the middle, Greek wording.
Oh, yeah?
Whereas the rest of it looks like Latin. Making our way along this avenue towards the theatre, which seems to be under some major construction. This is our little lot, slowly making their way across. Leader Joe with her blue umbrella.
You see, there's a lady here,
Footprints, a lady,
beautiful lady, below.
supposedly an advert,
We think got the lady
an
name
advert
and
for a
telephone
brothel.
number is written. Take this house number price how much? She is beautiful as a queen. If you wish to go to her, you go before the crossroad to the left. It points at the bordello. This is the first advertisement for 65 it's a door.
Again here you can see where the stones, the junctions of the stones, where people have smashed the stonework away to get at the iron, which was obviously quite valuable. It's on all these routes. So this is the Great Theatre. We used to have gladiatorial fights here. Big wall you can see round separates the centre from the audience.
You know, St. Paul came in 67 AD, and this siege here, the Pope, but they forced him to leave immediately because they were earning money from Kagan.
It's enormous. This is down on the stage. We just pan round. 25,000 people used to fit inside here. Impressive. This is Harbour Street, which leads down to the harbour. But you cannot go down there today, you have to turn right along these pine trees to the exit. Again, wonderful colonnade on both sides. Of course the harbour has long since silted off. The sea is 5 miles away from here now. Well, this is the area where the gymnasts were trained. There's mountains and mountains of stone here. How they know where it all goes, I have no idea. So swing round. There you can see the Great Theatre. Which reputedly held 25,000. I think that 25,000 people in there would be, it would be to a seat or more. Theatre, just a little glimpse through the trees, which is very nice while it's quiet. Lovely. Just as you're leading on the left-hand side are these sarcophagi. The one in the middle, which is smashed, looks incredibly ornate. That must have been for some important person. It must have taken I don't know, months and months and months to make. Well, this is the baptismal in this Church of Mary. Lots of Americans here, obviously evangelical Americans.
You would have to walk in and walk out. Until they would have been
Still being used here. There's a priest on the other side of there, giving a blessing to some girl from Africa, I think.
We're here,
They have American priests with them. These are some of the finds from Ephesus. There are lots of them in this museum. This is probably one of the finest. Lots of breasts, this one. Beautifully carved. This is Priapos, who had a huge penis or phallus, which of him. It's an indication of fertility. God of fertility. The mission at Ephesus. And that wonderful statue was found. I zoom in through this model where all these columns are, you can see this statue. This is another model, another statue of the same woman. This huge headdress on. These are the Parthian monument reliefs, as they were originally. Very, very impressive. This one has bull's heads with acanthus in between.
Yeah. It's still does anyway.
Wonderful. Some of the statues were enormous. This is just the head and forearm of this emperor. It is huge. Hand and fingernails. Must be more than 6 feet tall. Very, very big. when I put my finger there. It's absolutely massive. This is our restaurant stop, lunchtime stop near Ephesus. Very, very nice. Trees for the shade, very pleasant.
Yeah, it's all right.